Hi everyone, this is Lena with Cicalia Botanicals. So in addition to the tarot horoscopes monthly for every sign that I do, as well as reviews of books and tarot decks, and hopefully soon some spellcraft projects, I wanted to also talk about some things for beginner practitioners that do energy work or witchcraft type work. Um, I'm realizing more and more, especially in these last few months, that I am in a position now, having been involved with this type of work for about 21 years, which makes me feel very old, um, that I'm actually in a position to teach like some things and to help people. And share some things that I wish I had learned sooner. And there's a lot out there. I find myself in conversations more and more recently as I'm more open about who I am spiritually. I think that the world is becoming more open-minded, but as I get older, I'm also becoming more confident in who I am and care a great deal less about other people accepting me or agreeing with me or even liking me. I really don't care so much because I like who I am. I've been through a lot to become who I am, and I've learned a lot of lessons that ring true for me. And there's so much information out there, and sometimes it's overwhelming. And I know for me it helps when I have found somebody in particular that resonates with me, that I trust, that I can come back to, that I see as like a mentor, even if it's not a person that I actually interact with, but see online or read an author. And I thought, it's possible for me to be that person for somebody else, and that is something that I almost feel a strong, or I do feel a strong urge to commit to this year. And I was having a conversation with a couple of people the other day about grounding work and shielding work. And this is something that I happened to come into after having some difficulties doing energetic work and feeling very drained afterwards, feeling or getting sick afterwards. And only after voicing this to somebody who was more advanced in energy work, and in this particular case, tarot work, say something to me about the importance of grounding and shielding work, especially when you're working with other people's energies. And what a monumental change that was for me, not only in my work and doing energy work and for others and with others, but in my day-to-day life as I've taken it and incorporated it into my world pretty much daily. Some days more than others, and depending on what's going on in my life, I may feel I don't need it, or I may feel I need to revisit grounding and shielding work many times a day. So what I wanted to say to those of you who resonate with me, and are doing work to grow spiritually, energetically, in whatever craft it is that you are currently pursuing, this type of work is great across the board. So I would not, after watching this, I would also go ahead and look into other people's takes. I've taken from now, at this point in my life, a lot of different resources and different people, and created my own type of grounding work and shielding work. What I would say for grounding work. So grounding work is important for whenever I'm about to do any sort of divination for myself or others. There is gosh, I could do like a whole hour long video on this. And maybe I will, but this is just a little bit of an introduction for you, for those of you that haven't really gotten into grounding work yet. I have found that this is really necessary for me, as there is so much energy swirling around us at all times. So what I like to do if I'm feeling overwhelmed by the energy, even in my own house or my own space, I will smudge the energy, and I will play some sort of cleansing mantra for my house. And I will clear any energy. People come and go, and you even bring your own energy into a space, and that needs to be cleared out so that you can start afresh. And when doing divination work, you can bring attitudes and projections into something, and it can affect your work or skew it. And I hope to do my best for myself and especially for others to not allow that to happen. So after I've cleared a space, if it feels especially chaotic, I will say I also typically don't do this type of work unless I am home alone. I find the distraction of those around me, even energy in the home, sometimes to be too much, but I can be incredibly sensitive. And I will say that my person and my daughter are both very mellow people, and their energies are not chaotic, rarely ever at all. So it's not even them, it's just my own energy and awareness that there's someone else around that might even just walk in the room and interrupt me is enough. So grounding work, if possible, have the room to yourself, clear the energy, and I like to sit either cross-legged on the floor or lotus position or butterfly position on the floor, or I like to sit on a chair with my feet firmly planted flat and not crossed. Strange when I'm on the floor, I'm fine with my legs being crossed at times, but when I'm sitting, I like to make sure my feet are both flat on the ground, not crossed. I will sit and I will close my eyes. I will center within myself, hands crossed at chest, and I will visualize the burning magma core of the earth. It's hot, white light radiating through all the shells and layers of the earth crust until finally it reaches where I am at. And I feel that white light and heat rising through the soles of my feet, up through the back of my body and spine, working its way over my seventh chakra as it washes back over the front of my body. If I'm feeling especially chaotic, I will do the same thing with the violet flame, purifying any chaotic debris. I might want to preface this as I do not really work with chaos magic, so maybe if you do, this might be a disservice to you. And then I bring my hands back to my heart and allow that white ball of flame, that orb, to condense so that it fits within the palm of my hands, that I feel the heat and I feel it radiating. And then I send roots down from my feet into the center, the core of the earth. I send branches or tendrils or antennae up into the universe, to source, to infinity. And I sit there in that moment, and if I'm really good and meditated and centered, I can feel the energy flowing back and forth, up and down, and as one. I take 3 deep breaths, very slowly, very consciously. And I feel centered in myself and in the universe. And then I ask my spirit guides to be with me in my divination work, or whatever work I am doing. I ask for their guidance, and I ask for their, if I'm working on someone else, I will possibly appeal to their highest good. And I've recently thought of possibly appealing to my own highest good. And then I begin my work. What I might do also then, if I'm working with someone else that's present, I will do some shielding work. So for shielding work, I imagine a giant sphere, a big silver sphere. So once I'm grounded to source, I feel it's a lot easier, or what is the word, productive, efficient, that's the word. It's a lot more efficient if I'm already grounded and centered in the spirit energy to call forth on that energy to shield me. So shielding work I use in moments of when I feel that there is some bad energy directed at me. And this can come from a number of places. It can come from an argument. It can come from a coworker. It could come from a friend. It could come from a past relationship that's gone sour. Honestly, I get it. I feel in times of jealousy. So strangely enough, when things are going really well in my life and I'm a little bit outspoken about it, I double down on the shielding work. Jealousy is a powerful form of magic, and for those that are unaware of their own power, their own unaware of magic, unaware of how thoughts are energy and can affect themselves and those around them and those that they're thinking about, can have some really destructive damage. And so the cleansing work that I do, and the smudging and the cord cutting, all of that comes into play with that. But sometimes you just need, you've done the cord cutting, you've done the cleansing, you're all good, and you're still getting that energy at you. You need to put up some shielding energy. I've heard it described by many people in different ways. I think the most common way, though, is a bubble. You encapsulate yourself in either a white light or a silver light. I see it more gray, silver, and going all the way around my entire being, energetic being, including underneath me, so scooping into the ground below me, wherever I go, and sealing that off. If I'm feeling extra persecuted, what I was taught by my Reiki master was to do an additional cloaking work. So where I've done my shielding work, and now if there's someone who is aware of their powers that's still seeking me out, I will imagine almost like the Harry Potter invisibility cloak, and making it nearly impossible for this person or entity or energy to find me and even try to penetrate my shielding work, my shield. Shielding work, shield will fall with time, and so if you're feeling especially attacked, you'll have to do it several times throughout the day. I will even do shields, I imagine it encompassing my home, or my vehicle, or even my bank account, or my children. It's a thing that I do all the time. And when you work with someone, sometimes you're not really like your intent. I'm working with you, let's say I'm reading your tarot. I don't pick up on any ill vibes that you have towards me. However, as an empath and someone that is very sensitive to energies, I may still pick up on some of your stuff and take it home with me. And I don't want to do that. I also may pick up on some of your stuff and that you want to influence a reading. And I'm not wanting that. I'm wanting the truth, the source energy, not your constructed energy. So I I do the shielding work to allow energy that I need to come through, but filter out the stuff that's not going to be beneficial for your reading, or to allow it to stick through me. So there's another thing about being a hollow bone. We can talk about that in another video that helps with that too. But basically I want you to understand shielding work and how it works, and just practice it. It's a great thing to do to start your morning, is to start some shielding work. Sometimes what I will do is I will infuse a piece of jewelry with some Reiki energy, some protective shielding energy, if I need to double down and wear that. And then it's almost like a constant reminder when I'm wearing that necklace or bracelet or earrings that, oh yeah, that's right, I'm focused on keeping up this shield, this wall, to protect me from this particular energy being directed at me right now due to XYZ. So for those of you new to grounding work or shielding work, I hope that this has helped you a little bit. And if you want to learn more, please let me know that you would, because I have a lot more in regards to both of those topics to share, as well as spin-offs of those topics and things that you can do for yourself to incorporate this throughout your day or your month, your moon spell work, your divination work, and working with others. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope this has helped you. Let me know if it has, because I would love to make more of these videos on a lot of different topics, especially for those of you new to energy work and witchcraft or spellcraft work. Thank you. I hope your 2020 is off to a beautiful start, and if it isn't, I hope you take those challenges and turn them into opportunities. Blessed be.